Oh man. Oh man. We got... Hold on. Whoa. Background music still going. Still pumping. There we go. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. We're getting a late start. I would have liked to have started like 45 minutes ago, to be completely honest. Welcome. Welcome, one, all, none. This is the AshQuest birthday stream. It's not my birthday. It is the birthday of the channel. It is 2 years old. It has reached its third year of production. I believe August 2nd is the exact day. And my goodness, there's actually people who are here. Roberto Gonzalez, hey Ash, are you in the gaming hall? I am not. I am back home. I was only at GenCon on Thursday, and miso, that same, yes. Home from GenCon. I only went the first day. It's the best 4 days in gaming. I was only there one of the best 4 days in gaming. I needed to size the event up. I did not stay another day. Now that I have experienced the event and I know what it's about and I know what challenges I have and I know how to navigate things and get through things, I will stay at least 2 days next time. But good morning and welcome to the stream. I see Roberto. Pretty sure you were one of the people I met at GenCon. I hope your experience has been going well. Hope it's still going well. Rob Champ, epic, legend. This dude was amazing to meet and hang out with. Technically hung out with Rob the most because we actually journeyed throughout the halls of the GenCon dungeon. And owing to navigational difficulties, both ended up turned around and had to navigate back the other way down a dead-end hall. So I will always hold on to that memory fondly. So that was still really cool. Still really cool. Also had an awesome game. One of the best games, if not the best game of HeroQuest I've had with this gentleman. Renarius Ashkevron is here. Hello and welcome to the stream. Miso is here. Hello and welcome to the stream. Prestige P, hello. Welcome on in. Sack of Ham is here. No Wizards of Mo's Car announcement. No Wizards of Mo's Car. No Wizards of Mo's Car. The day is early. It is early. It would be kind of weird for them to announce it on a Sunday. But we can talk a little bit about the teases and the hint dropped and the subtlety. Miso, I'm in Missouri. It was about a 5-hour drive to GenCon. 5 hours there and back is what it should have been. Thanks to construction and all kinds of nonsense. Again, owing to my own navigational challenges, it ended up being more like a 6.5-hour drive there, but we won't worry about that. I did drive there. The drive back, I actually drove back the same day that I left, and I got to tell you, those last 2 hours were absolute hell on me. It was about 2 hours from home. This switch flipped in my brain where it's like, I need to be home now. I need to teleport. I need to relax. I need to know that I don't need to drive anymore. It was bad. It was just, I was so restless. Shar was on the phone with me the whole time, talking, keeping me alert and awake, and listening to me complain about my tiredness. Rob, thanks so much for the very kind donation. Should save that for GenCon stuff. You never know what kind of crazy stuff you'll find on a Sunday. Actually, probably not much. Probably not much as people are wrapping up. Or maybe Sundays when they have the good discounts. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We're going to look at the GenCon loot that I scored this year, this first GenCon year. And I know a lot of you are at GenCon and stuff, and I'm not expecting anybody to interrupt their experience for this. This is just a happy birthday to the stream. I'm going to do a separate video with all the stuff that I got from the convention. I'm also going to show you guys. I got a lot of stuff to show you. I got a lot. Ribby unfortunately got an emergency call from work at about 2 o'clock. Oh my goodness. An emergency from work? Well, also heading back home early. Oof, man. Sorry to hear that. Much better, I guess, to have an emergency from work than an emergency from home. So, at least there's that. That sucks, though. Sorry to hear that. Sounds like travel for my trip to Stanford. Loot haul! As a Brit, the American capacity to drive for hours never ceases to amaze. Anything over 2 hours, I'm noping out. Trust me, it is not just a casual thing. Not just a casual, hey, you know what, I feel like driving 5 hours today. Definitely something that's going to take some energy and time, and something you got to mentally prepare for, and make sure that your oil's changed and your tires are inflated, and it wasn't something I took lightly, that's for sure. But now that I've done it, it doesn't feel like it's ever going to be a big deal ever again. So, yeah, we're going to take a look at my bag o' loot on the stream. I'm going to do a separate video where I show off all that stuff. And I have one more video that I'm actually working on right now that is my whole experience. It's my travel vlog. It's all the film that I took at GenCon. It's the hey, look, this software has been doing a great job of working the last 2 streams. 2 streams? Yeah. It worked last time. So this is the second time in a row. Here's Ribby. Here, let me help you. I'm just going to pick you up. And where do you need to go? I'll get you there fast. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, he's back. Oh, that didn't work. Sorry. I'm sure the bump will heal. Ribby's another one I got to meet and hang out with and play HeroQuest with. And that was amazing. That was stupendous, fantastic, wonderful. I would say I didn't know such cool people were watching and following and hanging out in the Discord and stuff, but I did know that. I did know you guys were that cool. Super Demon Wizard. Welcome on in. That looks like a Morcar avatar from here. I can't see it super clearly, but it does. And I do have my coffee. I do have my anti-Australian activist group coffee. Why do I look like I had something on my microphone, but I realize it's just my mouse cursor. Wow. Let's just get that off of there. Pew. There we go. Viewer tossing challenge. All right, so I think I can change sack of ham. I'm going to change sack of ham's avatar. I'm going to go ahead and push that through. And then I'm always seeing like 80 Barretts on the screen. And like, Barrett's great. Love Barrett, but I don't need to see 100 Barretts. Mr. Big B, we're going to change Mr. Big B also. Roberto Gonzalez, we're going to change your avatar. Actually, Mr. Big B, we'll change Mr. Big B's avatar. Big B and Barrett, who's a rather large character, would actually kind of make sense. But I think we'll do a red 13. It's cool. It doesn't seem to be working at all. That's awesome. Love that. Kind of like kaboom. That doesn't work. Well, I'll figure that out. It's probably going to take time, or maybe I'm just doing something not correctly right now. Seeing people just rolling on in. You did Quest 11 yesterday, Renarius. That's awesome. Quest 11 to the base game. 3 more to go. 12, 13, 14. 3 more to go. Then you'll be done with the base game. You can have Lion's choice of what expansion you want to do. Very happy to see you streaming for those of us that didn't get to attend GenCon. Looking forward to another successful year of AshQuest. Thank you, Mr. Big B. And we can look at some of the stuff that I got. I'm going to get to that quickly. If I sit here and meander too much, I'll just end up yapping the whole stream, which some people are okay with that. But Roberto, I saw that picture you posted on Facebook. It was kindly shared by Talisman Island, who then Giles McNeil picked it up and shared it with me in the Discord. So I've got it posted in the Discord so everybody's able to see the wonderful picture you took of me slowly getting eaten by my backpack. So thank you very much for posting that. I love having pictures to commemorate the event, and that was something that I'll be able to share with friends, family, and so on. We've got... Who else? I thought I saw somebody else. Rick Telligen. Yeah, welcome on in. Welcome on in. Hello from SATX, Lord Javi. SATX? Where? San Antonio? San Antonio, Texas. I got family in Houston. Sack of ham, still Barrett. Well, you say something now, and when your avatar respawns, I wonder if it'll have changed. Any talks about the elf character pack still in production? Little Wig, I have not heard anything about the Mage of the Mirror pack having any goat. Nope, still Barrett. Well, we got to change that. We got to fix that. Let's whoa. That's not how we do that. That's a bunch of zombies. I just spawned a bunch of blockhead zombies. Change, please. Change it. There we go. That's how we do that. That's actually super easy. Sack of ham, you are now Tifa Lockhart. That'll work. I need to get these guys out of here. Get out of here. It's an easier way to do that. Right click to despawn them. Despawn that guy. Goodbye. Whoa. Concurred. All right. I need to change my own. I'm changing my own avatar. It's always this very plain block man. I need it to be somebody special. Ooh. We can do the red mage. I am now the red. Oh, I love that. It's so perfect. I love that. Why can I change the size? It's always going to be the same size? All right, I need to turn on my fan because it's starting to warm up back here. Unplug my phone, and then I will show you. Actually, I'm going to put something up on the screen just to kind of commemorate the whole event. 1 second here. And then now that I know how to change people's avatars, I can change other people. If they start popping up in chat and it's a bunch of Barretts again, I can change that. Seriously, I need to play with this software more. I'm going to show you guys one of the most epic pictures you've ever seen. Then a little bit of a look at what you can expect from the stuff that I have got going on. The stuff that... There we go. There we go. We're going to transition into... I've got way more epic pictures than this, but you gotta see this. It was a blow-up dreadnought. It's a blow-up dreadnought made exclusively for those of you who have tastes in the bedroom that I won't question, but you'll need a particularly big bedroom to house this dreadnought, is all I'm saying. Again, no judgment. In fact, curiosity. Healthy curiosity. If I know where to buy this dreadnought, one moment. Okay. Got videos to record before going to work. It's been fun. Yeah, Brenarius, have fun with videos. Looking to buy an HQ placemat. What is your recommendation on... comp size, etc.? Thanks. Okay, so... you can do one of two things. You can go to Etsy and look for lost maps. Lost maps on Etsy. They have HQ playmats, various themes, all kinds of different kinds of maps. Like, you've got ones that are based on the board, and you've got ones that have the board incorporated but have extra scenery and map spaces beyond that. And you've got completely different maps that have nothing to do with that. Or if you want the maps that I usually show off, like in my videos, you can go to, it's Drive-Thru RPG, and then you're looking for Ian Schofield. Just type in beautiful dungeon mats, and that will give you that'll give you digital files. That'll give you digital files that you can download and have printed, and they'll come out to 36 by 36 inches if you go that route. Almost all of his stuff does. So if you go... I'll get to that in a second, a little way. If you go to Inked Gaming, if you're in the US, and there's another company that you can do this with if you're outside of if you're in the UK, but I don't remember what the company name is. But if you're in the US, you can do this through Inked Gaming. You can take that digital file that you bought from Beautiful Dungeon Mats, or files, or whatever you want, send it to them, and have them print it on a 36 by 36 neoprene mat. That's what we ended up doing. And I've got a 3-foot by 3-foot neoprene map that I use for the background in almost all of my videos now. And that's what I recommend for HeroQuest board playmat. If you get the one that's 36 by 36, but it just has the HeroQuest map, and then the border around it is all blank, there you go. You could use that for your cards, your monsters, your screen, all that stuff. So Littlewig was asking about the Rogue Heir of Elethorn. No news about that. No news, no word, no rumors, no nothing. Absolutely no nothing. We need show you a different picture. Show you different. I'm going to show you a little preview. Here you go. A little tease. Check that out. What you got to say about that? Oh, that's weird. It's weird how top of Joe's head looks like it's right here. Like I could just... That's a good Joe. That's a good Joe. Make your expansions. Make your HeroQuest stuff. Look, he's very relaxed. He's very relaxed. That's a good Joe. Go to sleep. When you wake up, make more stuff for our game. There, now that I've got you right where I want you. Stop petting Joe. That's what... Wow. I weirded out Sack of Ham. I have accomplished something. That's where you draw the line? That's great. Apologies if I missed it. Any Jam 2025 updates? Okay, yeah, that was asked. Hold on. I'll get to that. No Jam updates. I just checked this morning and it's still blank, so I'm going to reach out. I know that the admins don't seem to work on weekends at all, so what I will probably do is Monday, Tuesday, sometime today actually, I'll reply to the reply that I got, kind of poke at them, seeing if there's any update. Then hopefully Monday through Wednesday, Thursday, they'll answer. And if not, they don't answer, I'm going to get with my judges, which is Geek Gone Giddy, My Dad is Dracula, aka Gimme Your Gold, and Squidge Monster, and we're going to recalculate our results manually. I'm going to have them share with me their rankings. We're going to have this nice big this nice big spreadsheet we're going to plug our numbers into, and I'm going to do the calculations manually, and we're just going to go off of what our current judgment opinions are at that time. But I'll take the judgment excuse me, date, and I'll push it way out so that they can see their ratings and stuff, because that's all back-end itch stuff. That doesn't matter to you guys, but we'll get it figured out Friday for the weekend, and then I will have an announcement within 2 weeks, no matter what happens, because I'm tired of waiting and keeping you guys in suspense and all that. It's not fair, you know? I know it's not. I don't want it to sour the experience for anybody. We already had, like... Hold on. Still wanting to show pictures here. We already had one very talented quest designer not want to return for future streams because of an accidental disqualification, and then kind of an inability on my part to be able to go back and check into it and to find out what the heck happened in a reasonable amount of time. And I don't want that to happen to anybody else. I don't want the jam to be seen as like a negative event. Yeah, there's stuff that happens. It's like, well, I put some rules out there, and here's some rules that were broken. So unfortunately, this one's got to get removed. And if that happens, it is what it is. At this point, if somebody's doing that, it seems to me that they're just kind of like, I wanted to make this quest comply with the jam rules, but I got so into it, I had to have these other features, and I wanted to make this quest instead. So if it has to be taken out, it has to be taken out, but I really wanted to make this quest. That's fine. That's awesome. I love that mindset. Even if it has to get disqualified, you made something really cool, and the jam still inspired you to make it, and that's really what it's all about. Any online store suggestions to find Rogaire Velethorn? eBay and Mercari. eBay and Mercari. That's all I can tell you. I think Facebook Marketplace is a great thing to keep an eye on if you have Facebook. I don't think it's worth getting Facebook just to keep an eye on it, but it's also a bit sketchier, so. All right, let's move along. Moving along, I got 2 pictures of this awesome thing, by the way. This beautiful convention sculpture. Be cool if next year you had 2 categories in the same competition, one with strict rules, one that is open with much less restrictions, and everyone can submit 2 quests. I could hold 2 separate jams. That's what I could do. That particular configuration, I would not be able to do in one jam. Not without absolutely confusing the heck out of my judges and probably all the participants. But I could hold 2 separate jams. And that's going to confuse people too, but I would still be able to, from this jam page, tell you that, hey, this is big letters. Hey, this is the strict jam. For the open jam, go here. And I can probably, I really want to do a couple of things. So I'm learning from these experiences, and I'm pushing logical extremes in these experiences, because there are things that I really want to do one of these days, and it's going to require knowledge of how things will turn out. And now that I have knowledge of how things could turn out, so here I am taking pictures with lots of like inanimate objects, which is a favorite pastime of mine, and reacting to them as if I've anthropomorphized them in some way, as if they're not already inherently either anthropomorphized or at least intended to be. Here's Leonardo. I'm worried that I might owe him money and have forgotten about it. I want to look at Roberto Gonzalez's picture. So hold on. I'm gonna try to dig that out, and we're gonna look at. Oh, wait a minute. I got one more. I got several more to go through and look at. Well, one second here. There's this cute little guy. What do I have to do? I got to figure out if I can get this. Let's duplicate you. Let's call it dual camera. Oh. Then instead of the display capture, I don't want the display capture. I'm going to remove the display capture. And instead of that, I'm going to add a video capture device, and it's going to be the Note 20 Ultra. Okay, we're gonna make that the Droid Cam. Connect that over USB. Why? Why would you not work? Let's refresh you. No devices detected. That's horrible. That's absolutely terrible. Don't like that at all. Hate that. Hate it. Hate it, hate it. Is that Stitch's cool grandma? Yes. I'm so confused. No device detected because of the cursed image on screen. You're probably right. Let's look at this nice cosplayer. She's cosplaying somebody from Pathfinder, and she let me know kindly that if I wanted to know who this character was, I'd have to come into the Pathfinder area and purchase something, a starter kit, which, if I had my choice of TTRPG, Pathfinder does come in maybe third or fourth. So, maybe. Droid cam source 3. That's not working. It's not working. This is not good. I'm going to have to close and reopen stuff. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this on stream, so I'm probably going to have to do it the dumb way and hold stuff up in front of my webcam. I really didn't want to do it that way, but oh well. What was it you want to do with next year's jams? You said you had lots of ideas. Standalone. I want to curate the entries such as to make sure that I remove any potentially infringing IP stuff, convert them over with consent. Like I would not do this unless I hosted an event and had people doing this knowingly, knowing that they were going into it with this rule. And I don't know that it has to be the Quest Jam necessarily. It could be a completely different event where there's not like prizes and everything, where there's not people's online reputations at stake. Come on, you're connected. Go, let's go. Detect. There's no devices detected. Well, it detects wirelessly, which is weird. That's weird. You're connected with the cable. You weirdo. I'm talking to objects. Don't worry. But I would like for people to. Here we go. Me with a VTuber anime girl. I have no idea who this is, so I can't help with that. But she's most likely a HoloLive character. I just saw a 4.5 foot tall cardboard cutout of an anime girl, and I had to have a picture. I was gonna say Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay would be my first choice. Not that I've ever played it before. I haven't, but I would love to. Followed by, I don't know if I would really enjoy Final Fantasy XIV or not. I loved the base game and the first expansion, and everything after that is just super, super downhill for me. I hate the direction it's taken. I don't like where it's gone these days. I didn't like the 2 expansions after the first. Whatever. But I loved my OCs, and I loved the story of the first expansion and the base game very much. So that one's kind of like up in the air. I don't know if I would love a TTRPG based on that. Probably would, since I really liked role-playing in the game. But that'll be a gray area. But coming in second, Daggerheart kind of seems like an interesting concept. I'd probably say my curiosity is very much piqued at Daggerheart. And then Dungeons and Dragons is not in this ranking. I don't have a huge desire to play D&D, so that's not quite on the list. Note 20U, DroidCam Source 3. Okay, cool. Where are you on the screen? There you are. There you are. Now we can do things. Yay! Are we ready? Are we ready? Here we go, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Couple more things I'm gonna show you before we really get into what's on the table here. I gotta show you these lovely pictures. Some of the coolest people. Right here, all in one photograph. Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. Oh, Rob's getting cut off by the chat box. We gotta hide the chat box temporarily. We gotta hide the chat box. It didn't work. I hid the wrong chat box. There we go. I present to you, from left to right, Rob Champ, Ribby, Sikashem, and some dude named Ash. And I'm not sure who the displeased lady is on the to the right of us. She just got to meet Joe Manganiello. Oh no, she hasn't met him yet, actually. She's on her way to meet him. She'll be much happier here in about 40 minutes when this line starts to move from this spot. Because for the longest time, I guess it was like the very first person who was in line, because this is the end of the line to get our signings and stuff. They must have went up there and talked the ear off of all three of the signers, because I don't know, the signing etiquette was, hey, just keep it moving. I'm not complaining. This is a first world problem. I'm not complaining. I just found it hilarious because we're standing there and we're thinking, all right, easy breezy, get our phones out for the selfies, get everything prepared, get our stuff out to be signed. They said, we're going to keep this moving. We're going to go. And the line just doesn't move. It doesn't move at all. Nobody's moving. Everything is frozen. Like, what's happening here? Rolled Sword RPG uses HeroQuest combat and movement. I still haven't looked at it. Oh, godly, I cut myself off and I completely forgot I was talking about the HeroQuest quest jam for next year. I'm so sorry, Miso. I want to have people submit quests that I can convert to a non-IP format with their consent, and make sure they're all edited to maintain consistency across their wordage and grammar and punctuation and all that. And then I want to put them into a book. And then it'll be like the Homebrew HeroQuest book, Volume 1. We'll do like, I don't know, 50 quests, and we'll put it in an Amazon KDP for like $20, however much it costs to publish one of those at that size. And they'll all have the community credits in there. I would be editing them, and I would be stripping away the IP to replace it with open source materials. So, but they would all be 100% plug and play compatible with the game from the moment you open the book. So that does a couple things. It completely upends the silly for-profit third-party HeroQuest market. And it also puts everybody into the printed, distributable quest book. Seek looks like the hero of this party. I'm telling you, he is defiantly proud in the center. What an awesome picture, though. One of my favorite pictures. Actually, the only way it gets better. The only way it gets better. Where is it? Is I got a couple of these. One's I got like 4 versions of that last picture. 3 of them are kind of blurry. Pow. We got Seek, Ribby, Rob, and another Rob. Head honcho of the art, Rob. I don't know who the gentleman is in the back. I don't think he's part of Avalon Hill. And then my face got cut off. And then I was able to get my face in, but it's a little blurrier. That way we could capture him. And I'm so sorry, Rob of Avalon Hill, for kind of sneaking this photo, which is a terrible attempt at sneaking. But there's that. All right, we're going to go to the dual camera setup now. Love that I have this set up and it's actually working. I love that. You have no idea how awesome that is. And we're going to get right into the... I got up and didn't turn on my fan. I'm going to do that real quick. We'll just swing this microphone over here. All right. And get a feel for the area. This ought to be fine. So this map that you're looking at is not anything that I got from GenCon. I did not get Legacy of Dragonholt from GenCon. I got this from Half Price Books, and I'll be looking at this in an upcoming video. I got that like 3 weeks ago, and I haven't had time to unbox it. Talisman Alliances, Fate Beckons was there, but this is not what we're looking at either, nor is it the newest expansion. Well, it is, but like the one that is about to be the newest expansion is Talisman Nemesis. And the video that I took that I'm working on, which is actually pretty much done, I just have to edit the last little bit when I'm leaving the hall and put some thank you messages and splice these photos that I just showed you in. And then I can go ahead and edit it, or encode it and upload it. So what am I working with here? It takes the whole dang width. That's crazy. And okay, but I'm going to bring the camera down, because there's no point in having it pointed at space I can't reach, right? There's no point having stuff on the view that I'm not going to use. Agree? Right, and then like right about here. So I need a marker, so we'll use this pen. As long as I'm showing stuff above this line, we're good. All right, it's time. So you're here for the HeroQuest mainly. I did get a flyer for the Rat and Candle. The Rat and Candle presents Lance Luthenthal, the pensive bard, performing his one-man show, The Legend of Rogar the Barbarian. What an amazing bard. The stuff that I'm showing here is not for sale. It's not stuff I'm going to sell. It's not stuff I'm going to give away. Nor was I inclined to grab extras for anybody. So for that, there's nothing wrong with people asking, but I wasn't one of those, and I don't have, and I wouldn't have had the capacity to hold anymore anyway. But this wonderful, lovely flyer tells us that on tap we have Ogre Grog. 2 frothy mugs for the price of 1. 1 GP. You can't have it. There's no better deal across the realm. Just don't overdo it if you're saving the realm tomorrow. And then Heroic Brew, which is 2 GP. Put a spring in your step. The kitchen specials include mutton and carrot stew, 3 GP. Rosemary chicken, leg and potatoes. I said that weird. Rosemary chicken leg and potatoes. Hot and hearty. Warm your belly tonight. Adventure. Come morn. 8 GP for that one. Marked up from 6 GP. There must be a potato shortage. And fried soybean curd on a stick. Druids gotta eat too. Love the inclusivity here. The rat and candle is perfectly suitable for those adventurers who are of the vegan variety. When our staff smells it simmering, everyone wants a bite. Bite. Love that. Love that. House rules, absolutely no casting, ball of flame, fire of wrath, or the like inside the restaurant. This place is built like a tinderbox. You gits trying to roast us all? Check it out. You gits trying to roast us all? You gits? Wow. And there you have it. The first official Avalon Hill published canon. I don't know about canon. Depends on your perspective. Canon, because it's published by Avalon Hill. Reference to gits, thereby proving this is all set in the Warhammer universe all over again. It'd be cool to have the 2x3 foot framed like a movie poster. Oh, I'm absolutely, yeah. This would be pretty cool. I'd probably have it on this side. Yay, a non-orc bard. Man, I hope somebody uploads a high-res scan of that poster so I can print a huge one from my office. Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure you'll find this as soon as people start getting home from the convention. I could even scan it and upload it to the inn. I've got an account there. I just don't really frequent the inn. I don't ever post except for to say, hey, I'm doing a jam. Abomination seafood Peter should have been on the menu. Platter, not Peter. Wow. Abomination seafood platter. I agree. You gits. Sword stays sheathed unless someone says something about your mother, your lady, your feller, or your hairline. No refills for spilt ale. If you can't keep it in your mug or your mouth, pay for another or take your leave. This picture is by Max Dunbar. So he's done a ton of art for HeroQuest, so this should be well in line with all the art that was already done. There's a lot of people who have complained about the cards for Crypt of Perpetual Darkness, and I'm going to segue in my segue real quick and say I'm dumb. It was right there. All I had to do was grab a box and buy it, and I could have canceled my pre-order, and I would have had it by now. I would have it, but I think my pre-order doesn't arrive till September or something, so I am dumb. I am dumb. D's in the chat for Ash. That didn't come out right. F's in the chat for Ash. But people complain about the card art, and it's like, some people think the card art's pretty cool, some people don't really like, but it's Max Dunbar. Like, you're not getting a style inconsistency. It's just that it's in color and it's taking up more of the card. If it were black and white, and if you washed all those colors away and you shrank it down and you put it within the border, and it would just be absolutely what you'd expect. I got a flyer for Warhammer 40k roleplay, Wrath and Glory. Here's our collector's guide for that. Abomination. I am so sorry for that gaffe. Warhammer roleplay, Age of Sigmar, Soulbound, Perilous Adventures in the Mortal Realms. We've got a collector's guide for this. Apparently there are 5 adventure books, 4 essentials, 2 weaponry and vehicle supplements, and 3 player options supplements. I hate this so much. I hate this. Are you ready to play? You're just going to need potentially the collector's limited edition. These 4 essentials. Like, just make 1 book. What is wrong with you? Or, at the very least 2 books. 3 is already kind of pushing it. 4 is right out. This is my game. This is what I would want to play. I would roll up a character randomly and happily play anybody in this universe, at least a few times. And then the 4th time I would want to play a devout Genevieve turned vampire. A grim world of perilous adventure. Classic Games Workshop move. Needs 27 codex and supplements. GW milking their customers? Never. It gets really bad here. we've only got 3 essentials at least, and one of them is the Game Master's screen. So you got the 4th edition rulebook and the 4th edition starter set. And maybe the starter set is actually including the rulebook. I don't know. Enemy in the Shadows, The Enemy Within, Director's Cut, Volume 1. The Enemy Within. Look at this. We have new editions of The Enemy Within? Like, for real? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I wanted to collect The Enemy Within, and some of them are pretty pricey, but I didn't know this was all redone. That's cool. That's actually cool. I don't know then if man, this might suck me in. I'm actually not sure. All right, I grabbed a pre-made character named Muntz here. He's like a rat catcher dude. Got himself a little dog. My choices are, I think it was bulky paladin type human and a dwarf and a high elf, which you're never going to catch me playing a high elf in any game system. I mean, if you really want to split hairs, Link from The Legend of Zelda is as close as you're ever going to see me playing a high elf. And I would say that that's a pretty valid take, but nothing else. No other. He's got a character sheet here, though. He's got weapon skill, ballistic skill, strength, toughness, initiative. They have this handy kind of mnemonic that you can recite to remember the stats. It's Whoopstiarf, which we all are familiar with. He's from the Empire, Telegrad, Subterranean. He can set traps. He's hardy. He has exceptional hearing. I didn't write this. This is all pre-written stuff, by the way. This is all stuff that was included onto the sheet. I didn't touch this sheet with any pen or writing utensil at all. You remain unsure if Sigmar is a suitable god for a rat catcher. I love it. Stopped by a couple of the small business booths. HeroQuest had or tabletop gamers rather, had a HeroQuest scavenger hunt thing going on, but I grabbed this as I was leaving. I didn't go on their scavenger hunt. Join the adventure with Dice Alliance, a 501c nonprofit. I don't I never wanted to see the term 501c in the same sentence as like anything to do with fantasy roleplay, but whatever, that's fine. Dedicated to helping at-risk and special needs youths in Western Kentucky through role-playing games, interactive activities. If you want to find out more, here is QR codes with that. We're going to get into more non-free stuff. I got my signings from the lovely other guests at the conventions inspired by. This is Elizabeth Hargrave, creator of Sanibel, an upcoming Avalon Hill joint. Life in Reterra by Eric M. Lang. Ken Gruhl was not there. Eric was. Eric was very vocal about a lot of his experiences. He answered all those questions fairly prepared. And somewhere around here, I have my Rat and Candle, which is signed by Joe. So I have actually 2 of these. He's like, do you want a fresh one? What, Joe? A fresh one. Do you want a fresh one? To Ash, GenCon 2025. Here it is. So happy with that. No signings on the back. So that's going to get framed, I reckon. This was free. This is Final Fantasy XIV Online TTRPG. Lovely, like, folder. And I think I gave my base game away because I'm not going to play the sample game. I think, is the conclusion I came to. I wasn't going to have time or interest enough to play that with anybody, at least not the version that I had. As if I'm serious about this, I'll grab the actual like first edition starter set, full thing, not just the sample type pack. But this is a trial booklet, not for sale. It's got some cool free stuff in here, and it does have pretty much, it's almost page for page, got the same stuff in it as the book that I had, which I paid $50 to get. And it gives you encounter maps and enemy cards, and it's kind of crazy that this is like actually a lot of the content from the starter set that I got. But if I get serious about Final Fantasy, I will grab a bunch. Not a bunch. I will grab the official. I don't know why I'm getting those words mixed up. If I get serious about Final Fantasy 14's TTRPG, I will grab the full book thing that I need. All right, onward. I grabbed Adam's elf character sheet. But here was my character sheet for the game of HeroQuest that we played. This is Biergar the Barbarian. We died horribly. The details will be in the stream because I captured pretty much everything from it with pauses. When are the results of the Quest Jam going to be announced? As soon as I get the Quest Jam results, I will announce it. And if you're asking now, it'd be it's because you didn't catch the beginning of the stream, but the Quest Jam is still, the results are still not back. The calculation glitch is still not circumvented. There's still not a manual push for the calculations. So I'm going to follow up with that today, and I'm going to have my judges and I roundtable and get our calculations together in the same shared spreadsheet if they don't push it and get us automatic results by, I don't know, Friday. So then this coming weekend, we will be working on that if I don't have my results ready. And I will make an announcement on the winner announcement ahead of time, and I'll let everybody know when they can expect that. And then I will never push the judgment date out again. I actually think I know what causes the glitch, because I've had to push judgment dates out before. I always remain flexible for my judges because I befriend people who are adults and have jobs and don't have time to sit and score things in one go. So I'll probably have it where I make the judgment date all like 6 months long, and then we get done, and then I stop the date instead of keep pushing it out. No, that's no problem. It's fine. People can come in and ask that, and that's fine. Every time I explain it, I'm going to get a little bit more efficient at explaining it anyway. Excuse me. Ruby had Eric Lang sign his DMD rulebook. I just had him sign a flyer. I didn't have anything. I had Bloodborne, which he designed, but I didn't like Bloodborne enough to keep it. I loved the sculpts, obviously, but I've been at a point where I've needed to curate my game collection and make decisions as to what to continue hanging on to versus what I just grabbed because it happens to have sword and sorcery in it. I would like to keep everything forever, but we picked up the quest that was being played at the con. Actually, was this quest being played at the con? Oh, wait a minute. Yes. I don't remember if this is, well, whatever. You know what? I'll share that one later. I want to show you, I got a copy of the HeroQuest Adventure Design Kit, which I'm so freaking happy to have. I'm so happy to have this in my collection now. And I really apologize for the flex. I'm just showing you what I got. I got me a whole notepad. Adventure Design. This is the first time I've owned a HeroQuest Adventure Design Kit. I still don't have like the classic one. I still haven't made time, effort, and money to go on eBay and buy the classic one. But now that I have the new one, I might buy the classic one just to see what that's about. I'm going to have to spoil the first page here and make my own quest on it to commemorate it. Online Quest 4 is the quest that I'll go ahead and show you guys now. This is Online Quest 4. This is going to be up. It's called Dread on the Horizon. And this is the best and mostest clue that we are getting Wizards of Morcar. You can explain this away as being a transition to Wizards of Morcar, or you can say that this is the throwback itself and that it's not coming. I do think that it would be a big stretch to say that this was not Avalon Hill's way of saying that we're getting Wizards of Morcar without an official announcement. This convention, this event, was very much about Joe Manganiello. Joe Manganiello and Crypt of Perpetual Darkness. And I feel like from a business standpoint, this would have stolen that thunder. And they wouldn't have had any reason to do that. So obviously, the event being what it is, and the releases being what they are and where they're at, I don't think that it would have made sense to push for a future one or announce a future one. But I think a tease for a future one makes perfect sense, because that's in line with a lot of what Avalon Hill has done with HeroQuest and how they've treated it. So this is Dread on the Horizon. And the important thing about Dread on the Horizon, online quest number 4, is that this is not a quest from the Wizards of Morcar quest book or anything like that. It's a completely new quest. But it mentions Graw Shack. It mentions Graw Shack. And Graw Shack Graw Shack is the orc shaman of the northern tribes. An orc decorated in skins, feathers, and skulls, carrying a massive totem wand, growling what might be a greeting or a curse at the party. Graw Shack is one of the 4 Wizards of Morcar. Not mentioned anywhere else. Anywhere else. So that's kind of the big highlight of the event for people who already had Crypt of Perpetual Darkness or who weren't necessarily excited about it. And the quest is going to be out. They've updated the app with Crypt of Perpetual Darkness, so they pretty much have the app caught up with everything except for Online Quest 4. And if Online Quest 4 is already floating around the internet and its contents and details are already out there, then I'll talk about that one some more. But I want to show you very briefly. We're not going to unbox this stuff on this stream because each thing's going to have its own unboxing. I got the Dungeon Designers deck from Loki Battle Mats. This is 100 cards to level up your dungeon game, and they had a few of these designer decks, so it's good to see them leveling up into deck territory. And these cards have actually tiles on them. Not all of them, but you can take the cards and place them directly onto your Loki Battle Mat map. I saw Matt Henderson there. I did not get a chance to say hi or thank you or anything. Matt and Tam Henderson are the lovely, lovely, lovely people who sent me gifts from Loki Battle Mats, their company, from the UK. It's not a cheap thing to do. I wanted to say hi, but he was busy. He came in briefly. I just had enough time to see his name tag and go, Matt Henderson, that's the guy, that's the man. And he whisked away the person working at the booth, and they had a chat, and I didn't have time, so. Thank you, Kordak Hunter. Hunter. Happy 2nd birthday. Channel. Continued success, warriors. If it feels like I've been around for longer than 2 years, I have, but because I was doing content on Amalgam Ash. Amalgam Ash is pretty much completely divorced from the game book and board game stuff now, though. I've taken as much of that content offline as possible and re-uploaded it in the form of members-only content here, so most of it anyway. All the teases and, oh, look what's coming. It wouldn't have made sense to re-upload it. Avalon Hill gave me gifts, and I am absolutely humbled by their gifts. They didn't have to do this. I was actually far more impressed with the fact that I just met Doug Hopkins, and I got to meet, I think, the entire Avalon Hill team. Tess Hogan, Rob, I met Craig. Yeah, and I just had like astounding feedback from all of them. They were wonderful. And I'm going to say this in the video that I make and push out, but like any fears that I could possibly have about Avalon Hill not being a boots on the ground company listening to their fans, completely dispelled. Completely. They absolutely 100% are listening to people, reading comments. They might not be as respondy in those sections, and I think that that's wise, but they're looking at feedback. With First Light, a beginner box for HQ, would you like to see an advanced HQ with module boards? I'd love to see that. I don't think they can do it without talking to Games Workshop, and I don't personally think Advanced HeroQuest is Advanced HeroQuest without that Games Workshop presence, and at the very least without the Skaven. But if they wanted to make an Advanced HeroQuest that was divorced from that world, they could do that. They wouldn't need permission or collaboration from Games Workshop at all. They would have to use different enemies, and I don't know if they would be able to necessarily call it Advanced HeroQuest. I don't see why they couldn't. I really doubt that there's like a trademark or anything attached to that. So, but it would be reasonable to assume, right, that they wouldn't want to confuse it with a product that could contain Warhammer universe references. I don't think it really matters at this point. I don't think anybody would say anything, but yeah, no, they could absolutely have an Advanced HeroQuest with an identical rule set. Would they try to keep it the same? I don't know. That's kind of a toss-up because Avalon Hill would probably seek out the problems in the system. And I don't necessarily know what those problems might be. I can't comment on that because I'm not an advanced HeroQuest player. But they might decide, hey, this isn't as fun based on what we've seen and what we've played. We're going to change this to that, and we're going to change this to that. And by the time they release it, they might have a lot of differences. But no matter what, I bet you their version of an advanced HeroQuest, which is not announced or teased or anything like that, we're just talking here, for those of you just joining, it would have everything that you need to play the original rulebook if you wanted. Think they might bring out a modern version of the Quest Design Kit for retail? I don't think they will. We have the PDF, so that's their that's their release. The PDF is their release there. I don't think that they'll bring out a design kit now. And if they're watching, okay, hold on. I gotta communicate this now. People in charge of designing products that are smoke tested, focus grouped, considered for release, and all of that. Folks that are in charge of that at Avalon Hill. And maybe you're already doing this. Who knows? Who knows? Who can tell what you're up to behind the scenes? Wouldn't it be grand if you did create a box, a rather small, thin box, that was called the Adventure Design Kit and had all of these sheets in it, a pad of these sheets in the box, along with standees and plastic standee holders, bases, for extra orcs and skeletons and maybe even some other monsters that were, up to this point, this hypothetical point, expansion exclusive. That way, you cover expanding First Light. And those people who are wanting to expand First Light without necessarily mixing in the expansions that have miniatures, because that might mess people up. I don't know. That's a can of worms that it's already been opened. But it could also be a great opportunity to bring in additional heroes. Maybe those mythic alt-gender sculpts, or components of expansions that are not as easy to get right now. I don't know if that's a thing. You could actually include like a rogue heir of Elethorn through such a kit. It's things to consider. Things to consider, because your old audience will buy it, and your First Light audience would buy it because it would be a natural way to expand their First Light experience. Give me a call. Give me a call. I'll talk you through all this. You don't need me. You don't need me for none of that. You've already got stuff on the back cooking. You don't need my ideas. But if this sounds good and it wasn't in your box, shoot me a message, or just give me a call. Excuse me. Chris Nato has my number. But my business email is always open also. All right, let's get back to my silly unboxing. Avalon Hill's Doug Hopkins loaded me up with stuff, which is either a blessing or a curse, depending on how you look at it, because at this point in time, I was exhausted. I was ready to leave, and he said, here, have another 8 pounds of stuff to carry with you. So he gave me Betrayal at the Nibald House, The Evil of Pennywise. This is an expansion for Betrayal, House on the Hill, obviously. It's 3rd edition. Not that I'm going to play it with the edition that I have. I'm not sure what edition I have, though. Features 3 chilling IT, my god. Stop capitalizing it. Features 3 chilling It Chapter 2 themed characters, plus a unique character board overlay of Notorious Menace Henry Bowers, as well as specially designed haunts, room tiles, monster tokens, and Pennywise encounter cards that will add more drip feed terror to your base game. So there's that. There's that. Amazing. Fantastic. I got Life in Reterra by Eric M. Lang. And I got this after the signing, so I couldn't bring this in and get it signed. I guess I could have. I could have ran back up there. Eric, can you sign this? Kurgan's probably still talking to you. You're probably still glued to your seat. Life in Reterra, a community rebuilding game. We saw this on Avalon Hill's Instagram. And honestly, I dig how the cards look. I can kind of see directions that this could go. I don't really know anything about it. But I can tell you, I'll probably enjoy this more than I did Bloodborne, which is not a slight against Eric. That's not a slight against Eric at all. I just think that maybe a Bloodborne translated to board game was not going to be on my list of absolute love. I also don't play Dark Souls, the board game, and who knows if I'll like Elden Ring, the board game, once I finally sit down and actually play it. And now, I have to pause really quick just to check on something. People still alive out there? I'm gonna get to my dashboard real quick. We had a person named Roland Tider. That's good. Glad you're still here. It got quiet. I got worried. Like, I've had 2 internet outages here in the last 3 weeks. Thought I saw you walk by my booth, but I didn't know you were here. I should have said something to you. Oh well. Roland Tider. Wonder what your booth was. And not sure, but I'd guess the plastic may be a type of PVC. All right, that's cool. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nothing else going on. No new mentions. All right. Cosmo Lancer. I don't know anything about this game, and it looks like it kind of got damaged in transit. But we are what? Capture jaw-dropping photos. We are capturing jaw-dropping photos, avoiding cosmic dangers, becoming the best. You just landed your first gig as a freelance space photographer, a Cosmo Lancer. I didn't know that's what that meant, but I saw the aperture symbol in the O. I didn't know that that's what that was. I had my suspicions, but it wasn't clicking, so to speak. Never mind. In this galactic reimagining of Rhinonesia's kingdoms, accumulate points by placing photo op tiles and imaging devices, but watch out, hazards like abominable worms and cosmo poachers may just ruin your shot. Wait a minute, kingdoms? Let me see if kingdoms is what I think it is, but if it's that one photography game where you're photographing wildlife, that's awesome. I got more stuff to show you. I'm going to get through the rest of this box. Those were the Avalon Hill gifts, all covered. And actually, technically, all of this was Avalon Hill gifts, for which I'm very grateful. Doug Hopkins, you're an absolute legend. So sorry I called you a Yeti before the release of the Frozen Horror. There's actually a little bit more. I can't forget this GM screen. which is not called a GM screen, but this is what was also being distributed at the convention. This is for HeroQuest, published by Hasbro Games, Avalon Hill. We have some interesting text. When the blood... Oh, maybe that doesn't say blood. Hold on. I'm just gonna try real quick. When the blood light of the new moon shines upon the lands, something will happen. It's probably a Crypt of Perpetual Darkness thing, but you've got this awesome imagery of this undead character. You've got this, I'm sure if you hold it upside down that it's an adorable bunny, and then you've got this Dread Warrior, one of the most badass interpretations of a Dread Warrior I've seen, hidden away on the back of this. What did they mean by this? We've got all kinds of maps going on. This must be the Crypt of Perpetual Darkness. And indeed, it does say that here. The Crypt of Perpetual Darkness. The font is not too bad to read, but everything's backwards and upside down, which I kind of like. The Sunken City of Bublhexia. Awesome. Love that. Joe Mandinello specified that the goblin Bublhexia was named after his dog, Bubbles. More convention flyer stuff. But envelope that was containing all of my information. We had this from Inkwell Ideas. I think I called them Inkwell Gaming in my video, so I need to change that. They've got the Worldographer Exploration Kit, Side Quest decks, NPC Portrait decks, Dungeon Morph cards, dice, books. I wish I'd picked up a set of the Dungeon Morph dice. Didn't, stupidly, but I did pick up the cards. I'll show you those here in a second. A catalog for Japanime games. Lots and lots of anime girls saving the world. Princess Crowning card game. That might be interesting. Glitter Hearts, the magical transforming heroes role-playing game. They're magical girls. Call them magical girls, you cowards. No, anybody can be a magical transforming hero. It's fine. Create endless adventures. This is the Dwarven Forge, which I also looked at in great detail. In intermediate detail at the convention. Picked up a couple of those. Star Forge, Dwarven Forge's Star Forge. We have a dungeon here set in the Millennium Falcon. That's crazy. And then the Dwarven Forge Cities Reforged, Tudor Village. So cute. So cute. I see now why people were talking about this versus what was available from Castle Systems, because this is the only product that I have seen that comes close to what Castle Systems is doing. So, and I think this came first, right? So it's more like Castle Systems is doing what, but I don't know. I don't know who came first. I look at this stuff and I say, that's too expensive, and I move on. I don't even really look at it. But I decided to reach out to Castle Systems. Now I need to try to reach out to Dwarven Forge. But they've got scatter dressing, roads, ponds. They might be a little cheaper than Castle Systems is what I was seeing. What I may have been seeing. The business cards. Customize as desired. Add rooms, remove a door, change a passage, etc. The business cards are dungeons. You can make endless configurations of the same 6 rooms. Hey, it's Danny Paraiso, Eudochio. Thank you for your birthday wishes, sir. It's good to see you. Tantakure had a bundle going on. Heart of Crown, Japanime Tactics, Grand Blue Fantasy. Grand Blue Fantasy, that one kind of interests me a little bit, but maybe not for $150 for what they had going on. All right, next up, I bought miniatures. Normally, I would never pay money for resin miniatures that were 3D printed. Just wouldn't happen. But the person that was selling these took one, threw it on the ground, it just bounced right off. And he's like, I print using pretty strong resin. So I'm like, all right, they're the right price. Let's go ahead and enable this IP infringing company and buy some stuff. So we have an Onion Knight here. Could be Sigmire, could be Siegfried. It's Sig something from Dark Souls. Yes. Why don't you go on ahead? I'll just sit right here. That's probably his most memorable line. It's Not very balanced, but he's a good size. He's a very chunky boy. He's a very, very chunky boy. He's not going to be in the same scale, but I love the Dark Souls IP so much that I wasn't not going to buy it, you know? There's more. We have Solaire. Praise the sun. Praise the sun. Solaire is my boy. Both of these guys are my boys. We have Little Rani the Witch. Little Rani. I have a little desktop Rani now. She can sit and guide my decisions. Actually, she's Pocket Rani. She's Pocket Rani. She can advise me on whether or not to have fries with my combo whenever I order at the drive-thru. She's an Elden Ring character. We've also got the best pot boy you've ever seen, Alexander, the champion. I appear to be stuck. Just give me a good whack. That's it. One good whack is all it will take. The line's actually said in the game. And then I have the world's best dog. The world's best. Behold this dog. He's the finest dog you've set eyes upon. One of the best dogs in gaming. And he too will have a place at peace on one of my shelves. But Little Rani will go right over there with my stuff around my monitor. The GenCon 2025 coupon book, which I honestly did not take full advantage of. I was kind of frightened at running out of time, which is what happened. I should have gone through here and pulled out all the freebie stuff, because like the only save 10% stuff, not interested in that. Free 5e adventure, I would have grabbed that. Save 50% on one book of choice, maybe would have gotten that on this one in particular. But I did not open this up and really look at it, and I feel so dumb for not doing that. It wasn't until I walked up to a booth in particular, which was Inkwell Ideas, and somebody ripped a page out of their book and immediately got a set of cards that I realized I would be able to do that as well. And so I have this sample deck from Inkwell Ideas. And this contains cards from several of their decks. They did not appear to be AI generated or anything like that. I was looking at everything and thinking that I would like to have one of everything. Should have supported them more. I did get a deck of their Dungeon Morph cards. And we'll do a video on these, a separate video. But I did get one. And then I turned in my coupon to get a free book or a deck, sample deck of cards, and walked away. But there are some other things in here that I wish I would have gotten. Not this one, free with any other purchase or $5 a board game. I'm not doing that, but like a free metal dice set, I would have loved that. I kind of looked around a little bit for this one, a free 22 by 34 fantasy RPG map at booth 338. That would have been really cool. Did not find it. I actually sought that one out, and when I didn't find it within about 10 or 15 minutes, I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta keep moving. Looked at the masks available over at Lisa Cell LLC. She's a 2D and 3D artist. So let this be your advertisement plug for her. Her masks were really pretty. Pricey, but pretty. GenCon was overwhelming for me last year, so I totally understand that happening to you too. Yeah, opening day on Thursday, you know, once you get it through the crowds initially and you're in there, it kind of seems okay. What you don't expect to happen is it getting exponentially busier as the day goes on. And when it got to that point around 3 o'clock for me especially, I was like, ah! Now, I got bits and pieces of the GM screen, we'll call it. Bits and pieces of the GM screen. And then the last stuff that I will show. The last stuff I got was from Ribby, or Bourbon and Board Games, and Kurgan, or XSC, home of HeroQuest fans. From Ribby, we got these lovely HeroQuest sized rings, and they're printed with that awesome flexible material that people like to make. From what I understand, they had to ban wagons from the exhibit hall. I didn't know wagons were optional. Thursday was too much for me too. Post-COVID shutdown, I don't do well with crowds. I understand wargaming. I totally understand. Whoa. Let's see. Do they fit? They fit wonderfully. Man, they just fit like a glove. Now we're always going to be able to keep track of our people. And how many of those did I get? I got a buttload. I got a ton of them. All flexible material. Coming with the HeroQuest fans logo. So from Ribby, but probably more courtesy of HeroQuest fans. Right. We got red, white, black, yellow, blue. And more than enough to figure out an entire warband situation. All right, so I'm just curious. It will not fit. It will not fit that one. Don't worry, that wasn't a HeroQuest. Where is she? Where's my girl? Not finding my girl. I'm sure it'll fit. It was the Altar Quest Harpy Lady I was looking for. This does also fit the Talisman 5th edition miniatures perfectly well, them being pretty much the same scale and everything. Oh, Ribby. Same thing. Same point. Now, somewhere around here, I have my Harpy Lady with my Orc of questionable... Oh, there she is. There she is. I knew she wasn't far. Oh no, it does not fit the Ultra Quest. They slide right out. Well, you could put them in there anyway and move them around. They just don't have that nice glove fit. So, that's too bad. Dang it, I didn't know they were smaller. Or I forgot if I did know. Alright, so moving on. Got some drink coasters. Really nicely done drink coasters. Will it fit my mug? My mug actually goes over it, so I can't use it for my studio back here. They also fit the Blacklist Games minis. I wonder if they fit the Underworld minis. I think the Underworld bases are a bit bigger. I didn't end up getting any Underworlds because they were too expensive at the convention, which is weird, right? But I'm going to have to get them the cheaper way. Got our adorable bunny. Love this stuff. These are awesome. I have a skull as well, but I gave the skull to my son. I offered him a choice of what he wanted. He took the skull and ran. And then we got one of the almighty badass symbol from HeroQuest. Is this the glow-in-the-dark material? No. That would have been cool, though. Kurgan gave me nothing. I just want it noted on stream here. It's my evidence. Kurgan gave me nothing. I don't remember if I gave Kurgan anything. I don't think I did. I had a box of goodies. I didn't give him squat. I'm gonna feel bad now. Feel bad for a whole 30 seconds. Next, we've got, I don't know what these are. Just symbols. We could use them as markers on the HeroQuest board. Maybe you could go pick up. You could pick them up just like Mario Kart. Mario Kart, oh, they're magnets? Oh my god, they are. Oh, they fit my frame. Oh, they're magnets. Oh, you beautiful goblin. Didn't see those. Did not realize that. That's really cool. Thank you, thank you. Got magnets. Put them on my fridge, or I can put them on my frame. Back here, put them on my table. I got another set, but these are not magnets. These are pins, as you can see from the pins in the back. Ready to clip my tie to my shirt, my chaos tie, my orc. Magnets, how do they work? It's a miracle. RuneForge Tabletop Gaming, congrats on 2 years. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been an awesome 2 years. The only thing more awesome than these last 2 years is going to be the next 2 years. And then we have a quest book holder. Quest book holder, a very practical gift. You can reverse it depending on what quest you're on, so let's go ahead and test it now with the Wizards of Morcar. Just to kind of prove you don't need a new quest book. You can use an older one. Let's not spoil the final quest of the Wizards of Morcar. Let's spoil what could be quest number 6, the Tower of the High Mage, which is classic quest 1. That's fine. They're absolutely fine. They don't get in the way. Oh, the big logo is also magnetic? That is so sweet. That's awesome. I'm going to show that logo here in just a moment too. No, but this works perfectly. And you know, if you wanted to fill up the space with a thicker quest book, like I don't know if you could get Floris's leather-bound quest book in this thing, but you know, it's a possibility. And they got built-in legs, built-in feet, I should say, extenders. So for when the quest book gets really heavy, when most of your weight is going into this side as opposed to this side, and it starts to fall back, it won't. It'll be balanced. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. This is the logo that I received. It looks awesome. What kind of printer do you have, Ruby? Oh man, I love that stone. That stone motif here in the back. It's not just regular normal gray. Like, it's actually textured. That is so cool. That is so cool. And then finally, because I was on the Rantcast podcast, I think once, with Strange Bus and Kurgan, I have the shirt. It's a large graphite heather. Although they say it's heather, it's, oh geez, it's not 100% cotton. It's a polycotton blend. I should have gotten medium then. I didn't realize with it being gray, because heathers are always a blend. You don't have 100% cotton heathers. Heathers are amazing because of the blend. They're usually very comfortable, very soft, very much just talking about my preference in clothes here. But is the shirt magnetic? Yes, it is. Oh, it's so amazing. How did you do that? That's crazy. What kind of fabric printer do you have? Bamboo PS1, huh? That should be easy to remember. P1S. P1S. Very closely named after one of the greatest video game systems of all time. All right, but that's okay. It's a large. I'll grow into it because my goal is to get swole and like huge and muscly before the next convention so that I can carry all the stuff and I won't have any issues. I got back and I was destroyed by that experience, man. I was destroyed. I got one more thing to show off besides the bag, but I got the bag, the GenCon swag bag. So this was absolutely full of everything you see here. And I still have soreness in my fingers between my knuckies where I had to grab onto this bag, and it was like 90 pounds. I kid you not. Whoa, with the folds, I am a folder. I know how to fold. Once dated a chick named Heather. She wasn't amazing. Well, but I bet she didn't shrink. Well, that's never mind that. Never mind any of that. The last thing I want to show you is the main reason the bags were so heavy. I stopped by the Dungeon Crawl Classics booth and I picked these soft cover books up for $10 a piece. When I went up there, I was of a passing interest in this system. I know it's an old system, which is automatically very appealing to me, like 1970 something. $30, I don't have to get into an RPG, blah, 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 talk myself out of it. But when I saw that the base game book was only $10, you run out of excuses at that point. Like, I don't have anybody to play with no longer becomes an excuse at that point. So I got Dungeon Crawl Classics for $10, and I got Mutant Crawl Classics. It's Mutant World counterpart for $10. And I'm very, very happy with these. They are stupidly heavy, as you might expect. And the best part is I actually have a ton of modules that I can play with Dungeon Crawl Classics. My wife Shar bought a humble bundle of them digitally, so we actually have like, I don't know, 20, 30 modules that we can play. One-shots maybe. And that drew me to that. So there you go. There is my experience in totality. Not in totality necessarily. You're going to get the totality experience from the video I release. I'm not sure when I'm going to release it. I guess it just depends on, like, tomorrow, I think. Because, close that. That was like the worst possible one I could have opened. Because tomorrow, GenCon will be over for everybody. There won't be GenCon going on at all anymore. Ever again. It's the last GenCon ever, unfortunately. Nobody will ever have GenCon ever again. I shouldn't say that. Like, hey, focus. Focus. What are you doing? Focus on me. Are my eyes going bad, or are your eyes going bad? There we go. There we go. The darker implication is that there's not going to be a 2026. I better cut that out. Celebrating channel's second birthday today. It's been an awesome 2 years, amazing 2 years. Channel's completely overtaken my expectations. I had goals. Channel surpassed the goals. I would love to get 10K by the end of this year. Don't know how possible it is. I had a big slowdown here this last couple weeks. The Dungeons & Dragons Fantasy Adventure board game videos have done super stupidly well. One of them has over 10... The Forbidden Forest video has over 10,000 views. And it makes me think that maybe it's my job. Maybe it's my job to spend money, spend all the money that I make from the channel on, like, the most obscure, hardest to get board games that I can get, so that I can make videos. Because once I do that, they become by default the highest quality videos that you can see for those games. And then I can funnel the money that I make from those videos back into what I'm doing and continue on trying to get better and better at the quality and how I present the content. And when I say best quality, I'm not necessarily talking about any touch that I give to it. I'm talking about the tools that are being used to capture the stuff. The camera mainly, I guess, because the last time somebody did a video about, game A that's super hard to get, it's a small resolution, and it's 13 years old, and don't go meeple, you'll never recover, so don't ever open my Carcassonne on camera. Is that what you're saying? Next year you need to acquire more items. I'm very proud of myself as a frugal person. I spent less than $100 at the convention itself. This is largely in part to the fact that I planned on doing one round before spending any money, and then another round spending money. We got two different Kate Siths. We don't want that. Garrick B, you can stay. Kate Sith. Wargaming Wanderlust, you will become someone else. You will become Cloud. I don't have Cloud. He's right there. What do you mean I don't have Cloud? You will become regular Cloud? Why isn't it letting me gift you? Come on. Become Cloud. Not working. It's annoying. The Will It HeroQuest content is my personal favorite. I honestly haven't done enough of those, but I have had so many people ask about so many of the last few games I've done. I'm going to have to do more Will It HeroQuests. I was trying to branch out a little bit and kind of make it to where, make it obvious the reason it's called AshQuest is actually not 100% because of HeroQuest, but because there are many games with quest at the end. And I'm including Warhammer Quest, Dungeon Quest, and the contemporary things, Orc Quest, Altar Quest, Banana Quest, whatever is out there that has quest in the title. This is an encapsulation of what that really is. But HeroQuest is definitely a driving force and something that I will continue to mess with. Let's play hacky with sack of ham. Sack of hacky sack. Oh, there you are. Yeah, gotcha. Pew. Oh, I got a happy birth from Shar. Maybe Will It HeroQuest becomes a segment? It may. It may or it should. All right, let's see if this works. I'll take Rowan this time. And then change your changers to Aerith. No, not Aerith. Yuffie. Gift you that. Refresh. Why did it work? Why did that work? All right, well, you're Yuffie now. And then Kordak Hunter. You're going to be somebody else. We'll gift you the Cloud. Oh, it does not want to turn anybody who is already catchy. It does not want to turn. What about Sephiroth? Yeah, it'll let me do Sephiroth. Oh yeah, Kordak Hunter is Sephiroth now. I can't have an Aerith, or the Sephiroth will leap into the air and then land behind her, and then the sword will go shing. You'll take a red 13. I'll take. Okay, fine. If it'll let me do it. I don't think I have Vincent. I do have Vincent. Let's do that. It's inconsistent. It won't let me refresh everybody all the time. Perhaps if I despawn you. Let's despawn you. Oh, that doesn't work. What the heck was that? No! Wrong one! Kordak is Sephiroth. Rowan is Vincent. There we go. That might be why it wasn't letting me do it, because I was selected. I had an currently inactive chatter selected as the avatar that I was changing, so it wasn't showing up on the screen. Kordak is here and is actively chatting, but the timer ran out and the avatar disappeared while I was trying to update, so I didn't even see. Anyways, the lead will walk the earth. Happy second birthday. Here's to many, many more years of questing. Absolutely. Did you get to look at the new talisman expansion? Yes. Just surface level, just while it was behind the case. And it looks great. It's all I can really say. It looks great. And I do have video footage of it. So we'll see what that entails as far as the video footage. That's not working. I guess I don't have Cloud. Ah! Char's trying to blow up a sack of ham. That was a strange sentence. Let's trap everybody. Oh. That's how that works. Okay. Scale of the warthog appears to be larger than human minis. Yeah, it's a giant warthog, basically. Basically, it's a giant warthog. Everybody's just going above the blocks, so I guess that's not how that works exactly. Doesn't work how I thought it did. Ooh, the block options are like scriptable. You can teleport one way. They have transparency. That's nuts. That's so crazy. What else? What else? Anything else? I think that's it. I think that's it. I think I can safely stop and go enjoy some coffee and plan on... Now we're standing on your shoulder. You were. I guess I could do that. I'll make a special spot right here. Grab. There we go. Oh, you don't want to go up there? Whoa. There we go. Ah! Get off my microphone. There's a lot of fun stuff that I could be doing with this, and it doesn't work consistently enough for me to do it. It's time for your next adventure anyway, called Feed the Scraggly Cat Quest. Feed the Scraggly Cat Quest. It is a daily quest. It comes with its own rewards. It is time to do that, though. So thanks, folks, for coming in and hanging out. I do appreciate your time. I appreciate the well wishes. And just super happy and privileged to have this experience and to be able to share all this stuff with you guys. And being able to actually meet and hang out with folks was extremely solidifying on that point. So, Peter, welcome on in. Good to see you. Make sure you keep on questing on. If you are at the convention, enjoy this final day for this year. Perhaps I will see you at the next one. Danny of our time, welcome on in. Been thoroughly enjoying from the shadows. Nothing wrong with that. Oh God, we're getting invaded though. We're getting invaded. I need to grab more avatar packs. That's what I need to do. I need to grab a whole bunch more avatar packs. What the heck is that Kirby? It's a Kirby with a guitar, a backwards cap, and a bat? What is going on? I don't have that in my list. Yeah, never mind that. Gonna go enjoy a zebra cake, maybe, in honor of my channel birthday, which will afterwards completely knock me out. It's a last-minute invasion. People saying bye. He's awesome is what he is. Absolutely. All right, folks. Thanks again, and I will see you tomorrow with the overall GenCon experience video. It's 2 hours and 47 minutes long. So enjoy that. Enjoy it tomorrow. 2 hours and 47 minutes. And then we'll be back to pre-recorded stuff until next week. And then next week I'll have the most updated content ready to go. Unboxings for all the stuff I showed you today. That will all be stuff I can only work on like next week as well. So I think that's about it. Have a great rest of your day. Quest on. Be safe. Thanks again. Channel birthday happens only because of you. Definitely not something I can achieve on my own. And until next time, brave heroes. D&D Eternal Winter, as soon as I can afford it. As soon as I can afford it. I don't have it yet. 2 hours and 47 minutes, and I bet not a single goat. I have a sheep. There is a sheep in that 2 hours. That's the best I could do. That's the best I could do. One sheep. But it is an orange sheep.